Decided to step out of this race, and I'll let others worry about the election while I focus on the work that's in front of me for the next year.
Well, tonight the race for Minnesota governor is wide open after Tim Walz announced he is ending his bid for a historic third term. His decision to step down tied to the massive fraud uncovered in state social programs that largely occurred on his watch. Morgan Wolf has reaction tonight, including from one man who knows that job very well. Morgan?
That's right, Julie. Walz this morning made it clear that he is not running for re-election because he believes the issue of fraud has become a distraction. Tonight, former Governor Tim Pawlenty shared his thoughts on Walz's decision and what he thinks comes next.
But it had to get to a point where they realized that they probably couldn't get out from under the cloud of fraud during a re-election.
A move some analysts say that they saw coming. Governor Tim Walz stepping away from his run for a third term.
I did not run for this job to have the job. I ran for the job to do the job.
In a world where we're all working hard, paying our taxes to the state government, and then they waste it and allow it to be stolen, people are understandably very mad. And even in a blue state, I think that was probably enough to say, for most people, we're not re-electing him.
Former Republican Governor Tim Pawlenty speaking with our Jana Shortle earlier this evening. He says that he wasn't surprised by Walz's decision and anticipates the next Democratic candidate will have to face the fraud topic in the next election.
For example, if it's an attorney general who also was supposed to be partly responsible for fraud as their candidate, that still applies. And it's going to apply no matter who they pick, because it's really more about the culture within state government. And you got to believe that cleaning house is a better argument than, we're just going to be more of the same party, more of the same after the fact.
KARE 11 sources close to Senator Amy Klobuchar say that she is strongly considering running.
This could be one of those situations where Republicans might need to recognize that they should be careful what they wish for.
Republican candidate Dr. Scott Jensen says Klobuchar would be a tough candidate for his party.
Senator Klobuchar enjoys the respect of millions of Minnesotans.
From a Republican perspective, we sure hope she doesn't run, because she would be by far their best candidate.
House Speaker Lisa Demuth, who is also running for governor, thinks differently.
When you remember that $18 billion surplus, the raising of all of our taxes and fees, another almost $10 billion, there wasn't a single Democrat that set themselves apart from Governor Walz. So whoever it is running for Walz's third term.
As Walz steps back from the campaign, he made it clear that his attention was dedicated to Minnesotans and cleaning up the fraud in their government programs, something his fellow Democrats support.
And that kind of selflessness is rare in politics today, and I really admire it. It stands out for me as something unique.
Klobuchar hasn't said if she is running, but again, our sources close to her say that she is strongly considering it. So if she did run and win, state law says that the governor can appoint a temporary replacement for a U.S. Senate seat until a special election would be called for someone to fill the rest of that term. And her term will be lasting through 2030. If she lost, she would still be a U.S. Senator.